So good afternoon, students. Today I'm starting with your next topic. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about your diode equivalent circuit and diode circuit analysis. In that, we have seen that how your circuit operates when we provide forward bias conditions and reverse bias conditions. We have also discussed about two different kinds of models, piecewise linear model and your constant drop model. And normally we prefer that diode is being operated under constant voltage drop model. That means whenever a diode is forward biased, only zero point 0.7 volts it drops is there. So now we come towards applications of diode. This is most interesting portion of this course, and you will enjoy working with this because so many doubts you are having in your mind will be clarified now. Okay, so this is half wave and full wave rectifier. So here you can see this is your conventional power supply, which we use in most of the systems, but in mobile phones, only this portion is there. Load is your mobile phone charger. You are having rectifier, filter, and regulator. While in your normal power supplies, maybe in television and all, this transformer is also there. So how your device operates, we are having a transformer. The main function of transformer is to step down the things. You are getting 230 volt AC, and depending upon our requirement, your voltage is being stepped down, reduced from 230 volts to maybe 6 volts or 9 volts or 12 volts, depending upon your requirement. And once your transformer output is there, so it is still AC, but magnitude has decreased considerably. Then what we do, we apply this AC to your rectifier, and output of the rectifier is your DC. Now this DC is uh, not as smooth as we desired of. So what is to be done? A filter is being incorporated in the structure. So this rectifier input is being filtered and you're getting a filtered output. Although it is smooth to certain extent, but still some smoothness is required. Then we apply this to a regulator, and from regulator we are getting a perfect DC output. So here you can apply your load, or you can connect any mobile phone or whatever it may be. So these are the things we are going to discuss in this course. So primarily we will be focusing on rectifier and then filter. So this is coming in the particular discussion. So first is rectifier. So what is rectifier? So rectifier is a circuit which converts alternating current into power, into a direct current output power. Okay. And your input can be single phase or multi-phase, depending upon the type of supply you are looking for. Then your half wave rectifier is also called half power rectifier. The reason for that is only half of the wave is being rectified. So what is a rectifier? Rectifier is a device which used to convert AC into DC, and we are talking about half wave rectifier. So only one half of the cycle is being rectified, other is not passed through that. So now we will be discussing about the particular circuit of rectifier. So here you can see this is your transformer. So transformer is giving you step down AC. Then this is your rectifier. So we are talking about half wave rectifier. This is your rectifier. We are having a diode forward bias, a load resistance being connected, and you're getting output at this particular point. Now, how the entire mechanism works, suppose you apply a AC signal to this diode. You apply AC signal to this diode. So as we know, the diode only conducts when it is forward biased. That means when potential applied at the P type is more as compared to potential applied on N side, then your diode actually conducts. So what does it means? That what is positive? Positive is this cycle. This cycle is positive. So I'm marking it as red. while your this cycle is negative, and I am marking it as green. So what happens when you actually apply this AC signal onto the diode, then this positive half is applied, and when positive half is applied, this diode is on. So diode will pass, allow to pass this particular cycle, positive cycle. So you are getting output at the load. Now some of the voltage is being consumed in between. Why? Because we know that your diode actually, if it is a silicon, then 0.7 volt drop is there. So if you are providing 5 volts here, then at this particular point, you are getting 4.3 volts, because we know that some of the voltage is being consumed by the diode, unless and until it is an ideal diode. If it is an ideal diode, you will getting 5 volt at this particular point. But this is not an ideal diode. This is a practical diode, and we assume normally we are using that this is a silicon diode. So silicon diode is having a drop of 0.7. So whatever the input, the output will be input minus 0.7. That's all. So this is the case when positive is being applied on the diode. Now when negative cycle is being applied, this is negative, this is 0. So this will be reverse biased. So this is reverse biased. So this does not conduct. So in that particular case, what happens? The entire voltage will be applied across this diode. So that particular voltage is called peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage. So it can be defined as the maximum voltage that can be applied across a diode in a reverse bias condition. That is called peak inverse voltage. So the maximum means beyond that your diode breaks down and it cannot be used further. So that's the problem. So once again, I repeat the entire procedure. Your ACs consists of two cycles, positive and negative. So when positive is being applied, your diode gets forward biased. And when your diode gets forward biased, it actually provides you the output for positive cycle. So the output is input minus 0.7. In this case, let's assume that you are providing 5 volts. So at output, you are getting 0.7 volts less, so 4.3 volts. Now, for the case when you're applying your negative cycle, this diode gets reverse biased and the entire voltage will be applied across the diode. So in that case, what happens? We come with a term called peak inverse voltage, the maximum voltage your diode can withstand when you are actually applying a negative potential or you actually getting your device reverse biased. So your waveform is like that. So you're getting uh, this is 0 volts. This is V max. So V max is equal to what is your supply? If your supply is V, then V minus VD, where VD is voltage drop across the diode. So if it is ideal, VD is equal to 0. So V max is equal to V, but that is not the case. Now, in this case, only half of the waveform is applied and you are getting only output for the half. So remaining half is wasted. Remaining half is the wastage in this particular thing. And what is the value you are getting in this particular case? That is VDC. So VDC is average value. So average value means your cycle is, this is your 0 degree and 180 degree, 360 degree. So one cycle it is there, another cycle it is not there. So how you will find out the DC equivalent? So I think you have already done this in the previous classes. So what this is Vm by pi for this cycle. Actually, so many mathematical calculations are involved. I will show you the later part of this particular lecture or maybe in the next, and 0 by pi. So you are actually adding these two taking the average over this duration. So overall your AC is DC is Vm by pi. This is your VDC. Okay, this is about half wave rectifier. Now coming towards your full wave rectifier. So whenever you are going to explain anything in basic electronics or maybe in your subject in mechanical engineering, thumb rule says for better presentation, the first thing is definition. So you are supposed to define full wave rectifier. So in full wave rectifier, what you are actually going to do, you are going to apply the entire waveform onto this and you're getting output corresponding to the full wave, not to the half wave. So this is the basic definition, that you are applying full wave and corresponding to full wave, you are getting a output. So that is why it is called full wave rectifier. So this is the definition. The second thing you have to do is you have to draw the circuit diagram. So this is your circuit diagram. So this particular full wave rectifier is called center tap full wave rectifier. Why this is called center tap full wave rectifier? Because in this particular case, the transformer we are using is center tap. Normally in your transformers, what happens? This is your transformer, this is your AC, and you are getting step down DC. So suppose this is your AC, more number of turns, then this is step down, less number of turns. So this is your step down transformer. But when we talk about center tap, then you are getting a tapping here. So suppose you are getting a 6 volt output. So your output will be 6 volt, 0 volt, and your 6 volt. So this is center tap. This is 0 at this particular point, and 6 volts here, 6 volts here. If it is 9 volts, then 909. If it is 12 volts, 12, 12. If it is 3 volts, 303, and something like that. So in this is center tap transformer. Diode 1 is connected, diode 2 is connected. So one is connected to the upper this wire, other is connected to the other wire. So both the diodes are connected using this. Then a load resistance is there, and then this load resistance is being connected to the center terminal. So this is called center tap transformer, and this is how you are making the circuit. So circuit is important. Another thing you are supposed to do is waveforms. So this is your input waveform. That is important. First is definition, second is circuit diagram with proper labeling. So labeling will be there. Okay. Then this is your input waveform. What is your input? That is, then last is your output. And here I have also mentioned which diodes are on during which particular cycle. So now the last thing in explanation is how your circuit works actually. So first thing, we are applying this positive cycle to the diode. So positive means this is positive cycle. So this will be applied here. In the positive cycle, there is nothing to apply here. Okay, so this positive cycle is applied here also, but sorry, not here, applied to this particular cycle only, positive. And positive becomes negative for this, so this does not conducts, only this conducts. So positive conducts, and when diode D1 conducts for a positive thing, it is forward bias, so you're getting some voltage here, voltage here. So this voltage is actually your this cycle minus voltage drop across the diode. So you're getting some voltage here. So that means positive will be reflected here, and in the cycle your diode D1 is on. Diode D1 is on. So you're getting this particular waveform. Now for the negative cycle, this negative becomes positive for this, and negative for this. So in this case, diode D2 is on and D1 is off. So this will conduct in this direction. So now your waveform will be like this. And for the next cycle again, this will be reflected to D1. So D1 is on, D2 is off, and so on. So this is called full wave rectifier because two diodes are there. So one diode is being used for conducting for positive cycle, other diode is being for negative cycle. So both of them are forward bias on the alternate cycles, and you are getting the waveform for the full cycle. So your energy wastage is not there. Efficiency is more as compared to half wave rectifier, although we are going to derive them in the coming slides or maybe in the next class. So here you are getting a good idea about full wave rectifier. The problem with this particular rectifier is that the construction of center tap transformer is quite difficult, because so much accuracy is to be required that you are actually getting C606. Sometimes it might be happening that accuracy is not there, so transformer may be damaged in between, and construction is a little bit difficult. Cost also increases in case of center tap type transformer. So that's the problem associated with this, although components required are more. Okay, one more thing in this particular case, that is peak inverse voltage. Peak inverse voltage. So when this diode is off, this diode is on, this is off. So what is the voltage across this? Vmax. Vmax is there. This is negative. This is positive. Okay. So this is off. And also we are getting some voltage across this diode, that is also Vmax. So what you will observe, that entire voltage across this is also being added. So you are getting a voltage of 2V across this. So that's the problem, that peak inverse voltage in this case is twice as compared to your half wave rectifier. So that means we try to avoid this so that we do not get this much problem as far as peak inverse voltage is being concerned. Okay, so if you have any doubt till now, you can ask. Otherwise, we will move towards the next kind of rectifier.
So could you explain center tap again?
What?
So center tap transformer again.
Center
What do you
tap
understand?
transformer. Center tap transformer is, normal transformer is, you are having this input supply and coils are there, primary coils, secondary coils. Okay. Then this is step down transformer. So you are applying something at the input and correspondingly you are getting something at the output. But in this case, these are your secondary coils, let's assume. So in between here, we have a neutral position in between. Okay, a neutral position in between. So in the normal transformers, we have 6 volts, 0 volts, or whatever it may be. We are getting a 6 volts across these two potentials. But in this case, we have a center tap point, which is neutral in nature. So we are actually getting a voltage here, and no voltage at this particular point. So this is neutral. So that is the construction. And why we want this? Because we want to construct a rectifier like that so that it can be working on full waves. But the problem with this kind of construction is center tap is costly, because this thing construction requires so much delicacy. And second thing is peak inverse voltage in this case across diode is 2V, maximum voltage 2V. So that might damage your diode. So that means you are supposed to use diode with high ratings so that they cannot be damaged in case of a reverse bias operation. Okay. Any other doubt?
सर
Yes.
सर जो हाफ वेव रेक्टिफायर है उसकी एडवांटेज क्या है? क्योंकि अगर वो
there is no such advantage. It's just a application.
नहीं सर,
Yeah.
अगर वो हाफ वेव रेक्टिफाई कर रहा है और हाफ को वेस्ट करेगा तो पावर लॉस होगा ना उसमें?
Yeah, efficiency is less in case of half wave rectifier, almost half. The efficiency of full wave rectifier is around 80%, while that of your half wave
हाई
rectifier is
वोल्टेज
around
नहीं कर सकता ना?
Yeah.
हाई वोल्टेज आउटपुट नहीं देगा फिर वो?
No, it is giving output only for one cycle. Only for one cycle. You are
आधी
getting
फिर
Vmax,
पावर
but
लॉस।
Vmax only for one cycle, not for two cycles. Only for one cycle.
यस।
In this case, you are getting output for two cycles. Okay, so here your value is 2V by pi. DC value is 2V by pi, 2V max by pi. In that case, your value is Vm by pi because you are having only one cycle. So we will be going for derivation of these in the coming slides. Any other doubt?
यस।
No doubt. So I am proceeding ahead. So this is your input waveform and you're getting output waveform corresponding to that. Next is your bridge type full wave rectifier. So here you can see that we have 4 diodes incorporated in the structure D1, D2, and they are being arranged in anti-parallel. So this and this. Okay. And in between, we are having a load resistance. So they are being connected in this particular fashion. So how things operate. So that I'm going to discuss now. So this is your positive cycle. So when this is applied, so this is being applied on this particular thing. So when positive is being applied on this diode, what happens? This diode is conducting. This diode is conducting. And positive on N side means this diode is not conducting. Fine. Then next is negative of this cycle comparatively, negative. So in this case, negative on this and negative on this. So that means this is also conducting. So how your device actually operates, this current start flowing here, D1, and goes like this because this is forward biased. And then your diode goes like this here and then completes the cycle like that. So during positive cycle of the input supply, your diode D1 and D2 are on. So things remain same. Definition, circuit diagram, input waveform, output waveform, and circuit working. So what I am discussing right now is circuit working. Okay. Okay. So here you can see that your diode D1 and D2 is on when your positive cycle is being applied here. Similarly, when your negative cycle is being applied, so here you can see negative cycle, I am using the different pen now, maybe this one, purple. So during negative cycle, so negative becomes positive for this. So this is on and diode, this is on because negative is applied here and this is on, this is on. So the cycle remains same. It goes like this and goes back into the circuit. So this is the entire procedure. So for the one cycle, diode D1 and D2 is on. For the another cycle, diode D3 and D4 are on. So again, D1 and D2 are on. So what you have to observe that when positive cycle is there, this is being applied on D1 and positive corresponding to this is negative. So negative is being applied on D2, negative on D and N of D2. So this becomes forward bias. So it does not mean that you are supposed to apply it. Suppose this is your diode and you want to make it forward bias, you have to apply positive here. Now, if it is this 0 volts and you apply here -2 volts, then this will make your diode forward biased. So forward bias means potential at P is more as compared to potential at N. Potential at P is more as compared to potential at N. Okay. So if you are putting more negative on N, still your diode is forward biased. So that is what it is happening. So for one cycle, D1 and D2 are on, and for the other cycle, D3 and D4 are on. So you are getting output here. In this case, when your diode is reverse biased, so this diode is D3 is reverse biased in the first cycle. So what is the voltage applied across this? You are getting maximum voltage Vm. That's all. So that is the peak inverse voltage in case of your bridge type rectifier. So what are the advantages of bridge type rectifier? You can utilize your conventional rectifier, conventional transformer. Second thing is your peak inverse voltage is well in control. You don't need center type transformer, but only thing is you require 4 number of diodes. So these are the certain things that are associated with your 3 kinds of rectifiers. So in today's class, we have discussed about your half wave rectifier, center tap full wave rectifier, and bridge type full wave rectifier. Now, I'm coming towards the discussion regarding your output. So block diagram we have already discussed, so no need to discuss. Now, instead of your transformer, I directly say that some AC supply is coming. Okay. Then when your input is greater than VDD, VDD means the value of diode current, diode voltage, then diode conducts. So your V output is equal to V in minus diode voltage over load resistance. So also there is a resistance corresponding to some diode. So you are getting this value. V naught is equal to IR. So what is the value of current? Current is equal to V by R. So what is the value here? Value at this particular point is VI minus VD over RD plus R into R. So normally your diode resistance is very, very small. So this will cut out. So your V naught is normally equal to VI minus VD. That is actual equation. But in case your diode resistance plays a vital role, then in that case, what you're supposed to do is you normally go with calculations using this particular expression. Okay, that's fine. Is there any doubt in this? This is your simple rectifier, and what we do, we replace your diode with your diode equivalent model, your diode, then this voltage source, then resistance, and this. So if we talk about when diode is conducting, when diode is reverse biased, then it's fine, nothing is there, no current is there. But when diode is conducting, we are interested in finding out output voltage. So output voltage is current multiplied by resistance of this particular loop. So resistance of this particular loop is RD plus R. And what is voltage in this loop? Voltage at this particular point. So voltage is this voltage minus this voltage minus this voltage. So V in is the input voltage and VD naught is the voltage corresponding to the diode. So normally it is 0.7 volts. If it is ideal diode, this is 0. This is going to be 0. So in that case, your V out is equal to V in. But normally we don't have practical ideal diodes. We are having practical diodes. So some voltage is there, drop is there. That is 0.7 in case of silicon and 0.3 in case of germanium. Then we come up with this particular expression. Then next is, we normally have resistance that is not having very appreciable value. And in that case, what we actually do, we normally neglect this value of RD, then your V output is VI minus VDD. So that is what I have already discussed, that if you are applying 5 volt AC and this is having some 0.7 voltage drop, then you are getting 4.3 volts here. If we assume that resistance is very, very small. Now resistance is small, how you can say that? That this, if this is 1 kilo ohm, so 1 kilo ohm like this over 10 plus 1k. So 1000 is much more larger as compared to 10. So we normally neglect 10. So 1000 with 1000 is 1. So that's why we come up with this particular expression. Now, when we have constant voltage model, then in that case, your output is going to be less as compared to input. So this is a half wave rectifier, and we normally know that this is your input and your output is normally going to be less. For negative cycle, there will be no output, but for the positive cycle, there will be output, but output is less than input. The reason for that is some voltage drop is there because of diode. So your output is having some slight value. Although shape is same, but some loss in magnitude is there because of drop across the diode. So when it happens, when actually your input is greater than VD naught, diode conducts. So your output is input minus VDD. And when your input is less than VD naught, diode is off and your output is 0. So you're not getting any output in that case. So your output is normally like this, 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 this. So that is why this is called half wave rectifier. Now coming towards average value, that I have already discussed with you, that you are having your voltage level or DC voltage equal to that. So how you're actually working with that. So that's we are going to calculate now. So here you can see this is your input and correspondingly this is your output. So your input is, let's assume that your input is the entire cycle duration. The input is for time t and half of that is t by 2. Half of that is t by 2. So we are interested in finding out the average value for this. Average value for this. So what is the average value? Your entire duration 0 to t. Average value is sum of all the events divided by the total number of events. So Vm sine omega t, because this is related to sine, and 1 by t, 0 to t by 2, because from t by 2 to t, this is 0. So we are normally consider this. And you are very good in mathematics. So solving this, we get this. After that, the value is this. Then we solve it. So 2 pi by this is equal to t, and this becomes cos pi minus 1, and Vm by 2 pi is equal to this. So this becomes minus 2, minus 2, minus 2 cancel out. So Vm by pi. So your DC value is 0.318 of Vm. So that means what is your power supply output Vm? So Vm is equal to V in minus VDD. So your DC value is giving you that value Vm by pi. So that you can easily calculate. You have already done this in the previous classes also, but I want you people to calculate this value for your full wave rectifier as well as your half wave rectifier, that average value of this particular thing. So that's all for the day. I think some important concepts has been covered. So I want some time for you people so that you can revise through that. So that's all. Thank you very much. And